Roll call. What's going on, y'all? See all these people chiming in. What's happening? Doug Spears, what's up, man? Saw the interview on Drum 190. That was cool. Did a little podcast a couple days ago. You should check that out. I believe it's called 5 Strokes at 5. Type it in the search bar, man. Check it out. You know how this works, man. We're here until 4 o'clock. Get your practice pad, get some sticks. Join in on the party. Might as well get some practicing done while you're watching. Some guy 01, what's happening? Meredith 11, what's up? Christopher Allen, what's going on? Charles T. Prim from the Emerald City. Yeah, man, Charlie Watts. That was a huge, huge loss. R.I.P. to Charlie Watts. Influenced a million drummers. Never met him, obviously, but, you know, apparently a fantastic guy. Obviously a great drummer. One of those drummers, man, is one of those drummers that just kind of proves that you don't need super crazy monstrous chops to be a world-renowned hero. Debbie Deb, what's going on? Marlon Brown, what's up? Body down there in Melbourne. Melbourne? Is that how you say it? Stephen Rosinette, what's going on, man? Chris Gowdy from Denver, what's happening? Look at my faithful buddy Pam. What's happening, Pam? You're supposed to be working. Pay attention. Funky Monkey wants to know what my favorite rudiment is. I got to think about that because I really don't know, to be honest. I'm messing around with a lot of flams these days. Flam taps and stuff. I dig them all. I know it's a cheap answer, but I dig them all. I just like moving the hands. As you can see, Schlep, what's happening, man? Thanks for the super chat. John Aaron, can you cover some of the great Carter Beauford? You know what? I do have a song in mind. It's super hard. I'm not going to record it until I know I can nail it, but he's on the list. Trust me on that. I don't do a whole lot of covers on the channel because, quite frankly, they don't pay. So here's a little, I don't want to call it a tip, but just to let you know. We don't get paid for cover videos out here because of copyright. And if you're only doing a video a week, you know, it can eat into your revenue. So if you do see a cover video on my channel, feel free to just drop a donation if you appreciate it, because we ain't getting paid that week. Nat wants to know, how do you get the best deep sound out of your bass drum? I got a bass drum tuning tutorial that you can check out, but the short answer is take everything out of it, number one, right? Because if your bass drum looks like a load of laundry, it's going to sound like crap, regardless of what you do with it. Take everything out, get yourself a nice, I don't want to say thick, you don't really necessarily need a thick head, but if you can find a drum head that's got some kind of built-in muffling, like a ring or something like that. The EMAD heads from Evans sound incredible. Super kick heads from Aquarian, amazing sounding heads. But anyway, get yourself a nice drum head, stick that sucker on there, and then seriously, all you need to tune a bass drum is just like a 3/4 to a full turn from super loose. That's it. So the looser the better, in other words. When you check out my tutorial, you'll see what I'm talking about. But just tune that batter head nice and loose. It really just needs, like I said, just a hair past when the tension rod makes contact with the actual hoop. So finger tight and then like 3/4 turn, that's all you need. You're gonna get the best, deepest kick drum sound out of your bass drum. Gerald from Clarksville, Tennessee. You know what? Let me just stop and find out where y'all are coming from. Hold on, man. Because we worldwide here. It's crazy. Chris from Thousand Islands, what's up? John Aarons from Arizona, he commented earlier. Texas in the house, what's happening, Stephen? Stephen Rosinette. Michael Eagle, finally able to catch a hang. It's about time. You're gonna dig it, and you're gonna want to come to the next one too. GS Dota wants to know if I have any Hertha videos. As soon as I find out what a Hertha is, I'll pop one up for you. I've probably been doing it the entire time. I just don't know what it is. Not up on my terms, man. But if I discover it and find out that I'm already good at it, then sure, I'll do one. Who else is here? What? Holy, sorry. All of a sudden, all of these just popped up from everywhere. It's crazy. Elio from Guatemala. What? One True Self from Oakland, California. What's up, Oakland? Yeah. Hang on, man. Let me catch up to some of these here questions. You has a problem with a snare. I don't know if that's your name, you, but it was good. Hey, you. It's pretty smart. Looking to fix the bad sound of my snare. Been watching through your videos, but still have questions. How do I know what the problem is, whether it be the snare wires, heads, or the whole drum? I mean, that's something you got to remedy, man. That's, you got to isolate the problem and, you know, just figure out what it is. If it's your snare wires, then you'll kind of know, because no matter what you do, they're either going to be rattling because they're old wires and they're stressed out and you need to change them, or they're not installed right. You know, they might be off center or something. If it's the heads, that should be an easy fix. You can know right away. If your snare sounds like crap because of the head, because you can either look at it and tell that it needs changing because it's going to be all mashed up. Maybe it's just not tuned right. The first thing that you want to do, the first and the obvious thing, is to loosen everything off and retune it from scratch. Using my tuning tutorial, which will only take a couple of minutes. But yeah, just detune everything, tune it up again. If you hit it, still sounds like crap, you got to look somewhere else. So the problem is either going to be in the head itself, it's going to be in the tuning. Another thing that you can check is the bottom head. Whenever I go anywhere and there's a snare on the premises that I have to play, 9.5 times out of 10, I'm not going to like it when I hit it. So the first thing that I do is flip it over and check the bottom head. I guarantee you, if you're ever in that situation, you hit a snare that's not yours and it sounds horrible, it's because the bottom head is way too loose. Not a lot of people know what the deal is with the bottom head. The first thing that you need to do in that situation, just get a drum key and crank up that bottom head nice and tight. That's almost instantly going to fix your problem. So yeah, start there, take a look at it, isolate the problem, check it out. Have a new drum head handy. New drum head can't hurt. Aviante Bronner wants to know, where on the stick should I place my traditional grip? I'm assuming that you mean where should you be holding it. That's up to you. Honestly, like there's no one specific spot that you need to do it. Because when you think about it, traditional grip is just like the match grip, right? All the same stuff applies. So with the match grip, I mean, if you hold it closer to, the balance point, it's going to feel a little bit lighter. You'll be able to experience a lot more rebound, right, when it's there. Same thing with traditional. You can hold it way back here, way up here, like towards the middle, right? Take advantage of that fulcrum, that balance. Or, again, with the match grip, if you want a ton more power, you can hold it way back here, right? Literally with the pinky hanging off to get all the leverage that you want for power. Same thing with traditional. You might see a lot of cats holding it way back here, and sometimes I do this because it feels really good. If I'm not playing anything technical and I'm just cranking out backbeats, sometimes I hold it way back here because I don't have to worry about any kind of rebound way back here. It's just all power, right? So technically, man, anywhere from here to here, anywhere in that zone, you can hold it. It depends on what you want to do. Who else is here? Who else? Rick Manlunas from Florida. What's going on? Pietro from Italy. Skip is from St. Louis. Cumello, York, Pennsylvania. Man, look at all these people. Hold up. Damien S. wants to know, what turns your head when listening to new music? It's a good question. I'm attracted to all kinds of stuff. Something will catch my attention real quick when I really dig it. First time I heard Tesseract, I flipped out. First Tesseract song that I ever heard was survival. By the time I finished the tune, I swear I bought all 4 albums. It's crazy. So yeah, I don't know. I like melody. I like grooves, drum sounds. I like all kinds of stuff. Speaking of albums, I know this is kind of, it's kind of off topic a little bit, or maybe it's not. I don't know. But listen, if you're a fan of really nice rock stuff, Wolfgang Van Halen, his band Mammoth, just dropped his first album. Grab that album. That album from front to back is freaking amazing, man. Little Wolfie Van Halen, that dude nailed it. Super talented guy, too. Love that album. I've been listening to that nonstop since I got it like a few weeks ago. Who else is here, yo? Stephen Rosenet. Yeah, man, I was checking out Sky Harbor. I dig them too. Jamar Higgins from Indianapolis. Zero wants to know if I'm going to be doing anything else with Drumeo. I'm in the family now, man. I'm on the other side of the country, but absolutely, I'm definitely going to be back there. I don't know when, with all this crazy COVID mess going on. It's a pain in the butt trying to travel right now. But definitely, those are my dudes. As a matter of fact, we'll pop that up right there, right now. Yeah, I'll definitely be back out there. If you're not already a Drumeo member, I got a bunch of lessons in there. I flew out there last November. Did a bunch of lessons for them for the Edge members. So check that out. If you want to be a part of their Drumeo Edge team, 30-day free trial, man. Link will be in the description of this video. They're giving 30-day free trial to all fans of this channel, which was super cool of them. So check that out. Mr. Ramon from Austria, what's happening? Somebody just hit me with a super chat. Yeah, GS. Thanks, GS. Thanks for the super chat, man. Look at this, man. We got Malaysia in the house. Antonio, what's happening? Marku from Finland. What time is it in Finland? That's crazy. Mountain Dew. What do you recommend for someone who doesn't have a way of practicing on a set? My only playing time is during church services. I feel for you, first of all, because I know what it's like to really want to play and not have anything in front of you. My advice to you, and quite frankly, one of the reasons why drums are so cool, is because you don't necessarily need one in front of you to get some practicing done. So one thing you can do, you can always get a snare drum in a stand. Doesn't matter where you live, there's always going to be room for that. So what I would do, and one thing that I used to do when I didn't have access to drums temporarily, I would do just what you're seeing here, right? I'd have a snare drum set up on a stand, practice pad, and I would get a practice pad, like a kick drum practice pad. So you can get a kick drum pad that you can hook up a pedal to. So you got a kick on the floor and you have your pad in front of you. Believe it or not, sometimes, you know, when you're faced with full limitations, that's kind of all you need, because you can move your hands the same way. Sure, you can't play fills or any of that kind of stuff, but I mean, if you're learning songs, or, you know, if you're working out hand and foot combinations, sometimes that's all you need. Just get a pad in front of you, kick drum pad on the floor. There's a lot of them available now, and then start practicing that way. If you're really desperate for getting around a kit, you can always, like, you know, just go to a jam space, like a rehearsal space that has drums in there, and buy a block of time. You know, you can get a 2-hour, 3-hour block of time, and then just go there and practice. What else is happening? Rockin' Ross, what's up? Tan May, how to break the speed barrier mentally? You're gonna have to break that down, man. I'm not exactly sure what you mean there. If you're talking about learning how to play fast, the best way to learn how to play fast is to not make speed your goal. Sounds weird, but it's true. The best way to learn how to play fast is to not necessarily practice playing fast. The first thing that you want to get down is form, because speed without form is useless, right? It's like a pitcher that can throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball and can never get it over the plate. So my advice would be to focus on getting the technique down first, getting the form down first. If you're talking about, you know, for instance, fast single strokes, the best way to practice that is to just make sure you get the form down first, right? Use a click, and then just start bumping it up into small increments, 5 BPM at a time or whatever. Do that gradually until you can hit like 200. Right? There's no way to break the speed barrier. There's no point in playing fast if your form sucks. So get that down first. Increase your speed gradually until you can hit whatever your target is, 190, 200, 230, whatever. Never, ever be concerned with playing fast, ever. It's pointless. Nobody's ever going to hire you to play fast unless you're, you know, planning to join like a dark metal band or something. Amy Dickerson wants to know the best beginner drum set. You know what? Honestly, these days, every major company has a beginner kit, and nobody's making crap anymore. They're just not. Even the beginner kits are super good quality. One of my favorite beginner kits is the Yamaha Rydeen. That is an awesome beginner kit. It's a little more expensive than, you know, your CB or whatever else is out there, your generic starter kits. But I mean, the Yamaha Rydeen kit is good. It's good enough for a professional to gig with, honestly. So you can check that out. Pearl's got some good ones. I think Mapex has a couple of good ones as well. It's all good quality stuff now. Look at old faithful Brooke Hornback back again from Kentucky. What's happening? Man, I gotta back up. Nico, what's happening? Thanks for the super chat, my man. Pokemon 3211 wants to know what pad this is. This is the RealFeel Barney Beats Red pad. I just found out that these are no longer available. Just found that out like last week. So they only made a certain number of these, so you can't really get them now. But it's the exact same thing as their regular RealFeel pad. That link is also in the description box. It's just like this, but the pad is just like a dark gray. Same thing. Who else is here? Ian Larson. What's up, Ian? He's asking about overhead placement on the drums. Let me confess something to everyone watching right now. I am far from tech and engineer savvy when it comes to mic and drums. I don't have any techniques. I don't follow any rules or anything like that. I stick my mics around the kit and play it. If it sounds good on the playback, I'm good. So I'm not the dude that's here measuring from here to here and all that kind of stuff. I honestly don't care. You guys have heard my kit on my videos. I stick the mics on them, I hit them, tweak them until they sound good, and then I'm good. So yeah, as far as overhead placement, I guess if I had a general rule of thumb, I place them about 3 feet above the highest cymbal. And then I make sure that they're nice and even, and then I'm good. If the distance is relatively the same, pointing down towards the snare, that's all I'm really concerned with. I don't spend a ton of time measuring stuff and all that kind of thing, man. Yeah, and even when I'm mixing, that's why you've never seen me do any, Logic tutorials or mix tutorials or anything like that, because I don't spend any time learning about that stuff. Maybe I should, but my whole thing starts with the kit. I get my kit to sound as good as it possibly can. Then I stick the mics on it, hit them. If they sound good in my ears, I'm good to go. If you really want to get down with the nerdy stuff, there are a lot of really good tutorials on mic placement on YouTube. You can always check some of them out. I guess the only thing, I don't know, man. I don't want to say it. I don't want to disrespect any engineers out there because I know there's a whole science to getting drums to sound good. But for me personally, I just don't take it that seriously. I stick the mics on it, hit my drums. When they sound awesome, I'm good to go. Man, look at all these daggone people. Tim Preston from Reading, UK. What's happening? Matthias Noor agrees with me. You know what? Drummers have a tendency to really overthink stuff way too often. It's just not necessary, man. I'm just not that guy. Like, I don't overthink stuff at all. At all. Sometimes it's just not worth turning everything into a science project. You know what I'm saying? So, that's my whole thing. True Sound Drums. I want to know if I do new product reviews. Sure do. I review a lot of stuff. I got some things on the way, as a matter of fact. Can't say anything yet, but I got some stuff in transit that I'll be doing some reviews on pretty soon. Man. Sorry, y'all. Forgive the awkward silence while I'm going back through all these comments. Sharon Jaffis. What's up, Sharon from Chicago? Broke her right toe. Gah. Feel for you. You need that limb. Got to take care of yourself. Drummond Detect from Pennsylvania wants to know how to unlearn a 30-year incorrect grip. Well, I mean, the first thing is recognizing it, so shout out to you for that. That's the first thing you need to do. Yeah, that kind of sucks. You got to start from scratch. You got to just try to mentally forget everything that you know. Because you're talking about 30 years of muscle memory, right? You got to sort of untangle that now somehow and start from scratch. So that's the only real thing that you can do is just, try to just mentally forget what you know, learn the right technique, and repetition fixes everything, right? So once you learn the right technique, check out a lot of the videos on my channel. I got a ton of videos, like really specific on hand technique, whether you're playing matched or traditional. Figure out what the right form is. Pick a specific movement and do it 1,000,000 times in a row. That's basically it, right? So, I mean, if you're learning how to use your fingers and you want to get these back fingers happening, whatever, you sit in front of the TV and you do this for like 4 hours. That's it. It's just repetitive movements, man. You can learn anything you want just by doing repetitive movements. Just like that. So, in a nutshell, that's how you do it. Lefty wedge. Do you suggest to stick to one grip, matched or traditional, or be versatile and use both? I am pretty passionate about this. Let me start out, first of all, by saying I cannot stand grip snobs. Can't stand them. Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself and you're annoying. Cut it out. There's no one grip better than the other. A lot of people out here trashing on traditional grip. Meanwhile, got cats out here like Buddy and Vinny smashing it their entire careers. Would you tell them that to their face? You're going to walk up to Vinny and tell him he's been playing wrong for the last 40 years? No. My suggestion, grips, to me, are like tools in a toolbox. Put as many freaking tools in your toolbox as it can fit. So that means learning all of the grips. Learn all the things, man. It just makes you a more versatile drummer. It might even save you in some situations. I remember distinctly there was a time where right before I was doing a short run with this electric violinist across the country. We're doing one show in Ontario, and I did something stupid, and I dislodged a tendon in my middle finger. So I couldn't move it at all. Right before the curtain went up, I reached down to adjust something, and I just heard something pop. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Curtain's about to go up, we got 6 songs to do, and I can't even hold my stick. But because, I practiced learning a couple of different grips, I was able to get through it. The thing that sucked is that it's not an injury that healed quick. So I had to do the 6 dates, using sort of a modified grip because my tendon was messed up. If I only stuck to one grip, I would have been sunk. But, when you learn how to hold a stick a few different ways, it can save you. in some situations. So learn them all, man. Learn match, learn traditional. You'll feel like a different drummer with traditional grip. Your posture changes. You know what I mean? Like everything is just fresh again. You can't approach your toms the same way as you do with the match grip. So that's another thing that you got to learn. Learn all the grips, man. It's all good stuff. And when you hear somebody dumping on traditional, dumping on match, saying this is wrong, that's wrong, just tell them to shut the frig up. Tell them Beatdown says, shut the frig up. Who else is here, man? Did I miss any super chats? Hang on a second. Let's scroll back up. Mr. Keys, did you watch the documentary Count Me In on Netflix? I just found it 2 days ago and I put it on my my watch list. I will be watching it this weekend. I guarantee it. Looks interesting. No spoilers. Don't tell me anything. What's happening, Paul? Carrion from Tampa. Ryan Souls, have you ever used a TuneBot for anything? Is it worth having? They make great paperweights. We'll just put it that way. Get rid of your gadgets, bro. You don't need them. All you need is a drum key and 2 ears. You're good to go. Eve Berger wants to know. Hey, where'd you go? Hang on a second. Yeah, Eve Berger wants to know, how do you get your one-handed 16-inch smooth like Anderson pack? I have a video on this that you can check out. But in a nutshell, it's all about hand movement. You got to start slow just to get it down, and then you gradually work your speed up. But basically what it is, it's sort of this type of movement. If you can sort of imagine sawing a piece of wood or something like that. When you're playing on your hi-hats, it's kind of this type of movement, right? So you're using the shank of the stick and the tip as well, and you're getting this kind of thing happening. So you're not muscling all of them out. It's sort of an efficient kind of movement where it's a push and pull. So you're feeling the pushes and just pulling back to get those things happen. That kind of thing. So check out that video. Can't remember what it's called, but you'll find it. I did it recently, somewhere within the last 6 months. I did that one, so check that out. Mark Finlay from Dublin, Ireland. What is happening? Talk amongst yourselves, y'all. I'm just reading. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Cody wants to know, how do you feel odd time signatures? The only way to learn odd time signatures, first of all, they're not tricky. There's nothing tricky about odd time signatures. If you can count to 4, you can count to 7. I mean, it's the same thing, right? It's just more notes in the bar. So, I mean, don't be intimidated by odd time signatures. I do have a detailed video on odd time signatures for beginners that'll go into more detail. But it's just, I mean, the accent, I guess, is just in a different spot. It's a couple beats away from where it normally is when you play 4. That's it. If you can count to 5 or 7 or 9, then you're good to go. There's 9/4 and there's 9/8. The common, or the denominator, I should say. It's either going to be 4 or 8, or if you're a prog rock person, it's going to be 16, or it can be 16. It's just a matter of feeling where that new accent is, that new sort of pulse. So, you know, in the case of 5/4, it's just an extra beat. So if you're going from 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to 5/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you get used to that and you know what that is, you can play around it however you want. Eventually, you just know what it feels like. All of that counting happens in the beginning stages. Eventually, you just know what 5 feels like, and you feel it just like 4, right? So if I'm playing in 5/4, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. I can do whatever I want, around that, and never lose, you know, that 5 feel, because I know where the top of that, I know where it cycles, right? And once you know that, you can do whatever you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could go on, but you get the point. And then 5/8, 7/8. You know, just 5/8 notes or 5. Or 7/8 notes or whatever. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a trick to counting those odd time signatures if you just kind of cut them in half. So if you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. You can count it 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1. That kind of thing. The less numbers you have in your head, the less confusing it'll probably end up. So 5/8, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, and 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 that kind of thing. Check out the video. It'll explain all that for you. You know what I'm saying? What else is here? Who else is here? It's hard to keep up, man. I should really get an assistant one day. But I like doing it myself. Derek Brown, what's up from Long Island? Solomon from India. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Could you play a 7/8 rhythm pattern? Yeah. 7/8 again. 7/8 is simple. It's just 7/8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're watching right now, follow along. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to teach you 7/8 in like 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is what I want you to do. Cut that sucker in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And count it like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, and 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 that's 7/8. 1, 2, 3, and 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 ow. It's one of my favorite time signatures, so I could, if I don't stop, I'll just keep going. But that's what it is. 1, 2, 3, and 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 1. You can also chop it up into 2s and 3s. That's an old, very common sort of trick for counting any kind of odd time signature. So groups of 2s, groups of 3s. So 7/8 that way. You could go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, right? 2, 2, 3, 7. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't like doing that because there's too much going on in there. It's cooler to just cut it in half and add 1. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, There you go. 7/8 in 2 minutes. Or maybe it was 4, I don't know. I don't know, man. Bobby Lopez is going on, man. Yeah, it's hot. It is hot out here in TO. We've been going through a little bit of a heat wave, man. It's just nuts. It's not supposed to get this hot in Canada. Archibald, what's going on? Thanks for watching. Glad the lessons are helping you out. Man, this hour is just flown by. I'm going to put the sticks down so I can pay a little more attention to y'all. Yeah. Senor Gueo is watching from Chile. Thomas, thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate it very much. Thanks a lot. 110 degrees in Southern California. What? Come on, man. Why do you live there? Well, I guess it's the beach. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, Walter, man, it's hot everywhere. I don't know what the deal is, but it's freaking hot everywhere, dude. Let me catch up. Catch up to all these comments here. Ed McKinney is hot in Las Vegas. Isn't it always hot in Las Vegas? It's gotta be. You guys don't even have lawns out there. Like your front lawn is just dirt. That means it's hot. Robert Martin, do you have any videos on using brushes? I do. Not a lot, but I do. I have a video on just how to play simple brush grooves. That, for a long time, has been probably one of my biggest weaknesses, is using brushes. I can get by. I can get done what I need to get done. But, you know, Jeff Hamilton, I'm not. So, but yeah, I do have video on brushes, you know, just to help you out with some brush grooves if that's what you're learning to do. So you can check that out. Nick Hoffman, what made you want to play the drums when you started off? It was the video for Walking on the Moon, believe it or not. Which is weird, because I don't even think Stewart's playing drums in that video. He's playing a spaceship. But that was the first Police video I ever saw. And then soon after that, I saw the video for Roxanne, and I was sold. So that's pretty much it. The rest is history. L-Drag says it's getting chilly in Greece. Huh. Greece. What time is it in Greece, man? That's crazy. A couple people commenting on the t-shirt. Thank you very much. I can't remember where I got this, but I saw it and I just had to have it. Actually, I think I got it off the Van Halen site. Samuel Stevenson. What's the last gig? Let me read this correctly. What was your last gig where you ever dropped your sticks and felt embarrassed? The last time I was at a gig and I dropped a stick, it was an R&B gig. We were doing a bunch of covers, like classic R&B covers, in the city, so somewhere out in Toronto. I dropped the stick. I actually have a video of it on the channel. Can't exactly remember what it is, but if you search hard enough, you'll find it. But yeah, I dropped a stick in the middle of a tune, and I wasn't embarrassed. Want to know why? Because I was slick with it. I was slick with it, man. Sometimes I watch back in that video, I'm like, dude, that was slick. It's not how you mess up, it's how you recover. Remember that. Just reading, just reading. Thanks everyone for coming, by the way, man. I do this once a month just to hang out with y'all. And even when I'm having bad days, because I'll be honest, there's been a couple of times where I knew I had to do this and, you know, get in front of the camera and talk to y'all live. And I was having a bad day. But I jump on here. Right? I just have some tea, my bottle of water, which I haven't had any yet, and I have some right now. Sometimes, man, I'm just having a bad day. I don't feel like doing it. And then I come on here and I see people chiming in from all over the planet, and it just makes my entire day. So everyone out here that's telling me where you're from, love seeing it. It's a trip, seeing people chime in from places where I wouldn't even think they had internet, to be honest. But yeah, it's really cool. Snare Banger wants to know my preference of metal snares, brass, aluminum, or copper. My two favorite metal snares would be brass and aluminum. I love the sound of aluminum snares. I don't know why. Aluminum is probably the closest metal that sounds like wood. So when you get a really good, like well-built aluminum snare, it just sounds awesome. You just get that little extra bite off the top, and it would sound like your favorite maple or birch snare. Like, it's really cool. So those are my two favorite. If I had to pick one out of the two, brass for sure. You cannot beat the sound of a really good brass shell. Ken has an interesting question from London. Shout out to London. I got to make it out there sometime, man. I got this weird connection with the UK. I got to make it out there. Like, the only two channels my wife and I watch are Acorn and BritBox. No joke. Anyways, he's got an interesting question. Do you prefer old school Weckl or Weckl after his technique rework in the 90s? I don't know. You know what? I don't know if well, I shouldn't say I haven't noticed a difference, because there's definitely been a difference. I learned how to play watching old school Weckl. My first video that I wore out was The Next Step. And that VHS is one of the greatest instructional videos in the history of the planet. And I learned how to play watching that video. And he used to hold the sticks much differently back then, like he was way back with it before he refined his technique and switched those new Evolution sticks, the orange ones. Before, they used to be those burgundy colored. Remember those? I think you can still buy them. That was my stick for a long time. But yeah, I don't know. Like, when I go back and listen to those older Chicory albums, they're just killing. Killing. I don't think there was ever a time when Dave sucked. He definitely refined his technique, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I might be with you. I might like mullet Weckl. Oh my gosh. It's already 4 o'clock. This is nuts. Couple of last comments. I'm just going. Liechtenstein. Where the heck is that? Patrick Heeb. Shout out to Patrick. Liechtenstein. That's nuts. JD Anderson from Nebraska. James MK from Montreal, fellow Canadian. Classy wants to know if I have any church gig tips. There's far too many of them that I can go into now, but just remember that you're not performing. It's probably the biggest tip. When you're playing in church, you're not performing. It's not a place to showboat. So just remember that. Playing in church is not like playing on stage, right? There's a lot more things you got to be aware of when you're on the platform. So just know that going in. I might actually do a full video on that, like just the differences between playing in church and secular gigs. They're two completely different worlds, man. Don't mix them up. Amy Dickerson, love you too, man. I mean, girl. Sorry, I say man a lot. It's just natural. But thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Love you too. Brooke, thanks very much for your donation. Really appreciate it. Guys, girls, thanks for watching, man. This whole hour just flew by like crazy. Man, I dig doing these. Like I said, I try to do these last Friday of every month. Just sit down here, hang with y'all, answer questions, maybe make you laugh. Pokemon, can you solve a Rubik's Cube? I have one. And no, I can get one color, but I haven't solved the whole thing yet. It's supposed to be some kind of algorithm that's supposed to be easy. I haven't learned it yet. So don't expect any videos on that anytime soon. Rodrigo, Pocket Builder 2. Yeah, there's probably going to be one at some point. There's going to be a volume 2. Give you guys some more tunes to play along with for sure. But man, I got to bounce. This has been awesome. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the super chats. Man, all of these regular supporters of the channel, you guys helped me get to 225,000 subscribers. I think it's more than that now, actually. Yeah, man, it's just cool. It's just cool to see. I'm glad everyone is connecting to the videos. Thanks for watching these live streams. I will read all of these comments at some point today. It's just hard to catch while I'm answering questions for you. So if you want to keep them coming, keep them coming. Somebody had a question about merch at the very top. Can't remember what your question is. Shoot me an email. Just head to my website and shoot me an email. Just go to the contacts page and hit me up there. And other than that, I'm out. I hate to say goodbye when you're all still here hanging out, but I only got an hour to do this, so I'm going to bounce. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Remember, Drumeo 30-day free trial. If you want to check it out, you can do so. Just hit the link in the description. I will be back with another video next week. And that's it, man. Enjoy your weekend. It's Friday. I don't know what you're going to do. I'm probably going to do some barbecuing because that's what I love to do on the weekends and weekdays. Keep practicing. Thanks for watching. Tell people about this channel because we have a lot of fun here. And we'll catch you at the next one. Peace.